Hi everyone, the comparison game. We all know that comparison is unhealthy for us. The doctor said so, among other things, but we still keep eating it, although we all know that comparison is unhealthy for us. We all understand the philosophical basis behind this comparison game, but how many of us can really have played their game without comparison, without the tension of comparison? We can see the four quarters of the wheel of the mandala, and now this theme of the comparison is very relevant because the sun is traveling through the gates of the quarter of civilization down at the bottom there. And the quarter of civilization, in the quarter of civilization, we can find all the gates of the throat center. Yeah, the name of the game is metamorphosis, expression, to give shape in the earth, in the matter itself. We call it the quarter of form. Civilization is about form, creating form, giving birth to form. Is the feminine element, yin, to be open for the message, for the initiation, for the inspiration, in order to express. We can see here all the gate of the throat. Right now, the sun is just in gate 52, is not in the throat, but nevertheless, it's the name of the is in the root now. Is also pressure. Is also a pressure to do something, to start something. And like any quality, have the exalted part side of it and the shadow, the detriment side of it. Also, this quarter, this quality of yin, of the form of the mother to give form, and the shadow here is comparison. Anyone who was born with the sun in this quarter, like myself, because form is so important for us and for everyone else, of course, we are all in this game, but this is like a inborn, a natural vulnerability to the game of comparison. So everyone who was born in this quarter can find himself, compare himself with others, because it's the name of the game is the form. Wow, so okay, all this talk, but look, he got this form. He is making stuff in his life. Yeah, he expressed things in his life. Wow, better than me. Yeah, more than me, less than me. The form. Yeah, it's all count when it comes to the form. And the mind of all of us, it always goes to what we don't have. That's the most attractive. That's a genetic pull to what is different from us. We know that. And the mind is a measuring tool. So here we go. We have this measuring tool. We're attracted by what we don't have. We see it everywhere in human design, in all dimensions of life. And here we can see it in the name of comparison. The gift brings so much tension and pain to our life. Yeah, it's the ugly duck. We always The ugly duck, the thing, thinks he thinks that his design is ugly, yeah, because he takes it for granted. How should I be? Yeah, it's always somewhere out there. I should be like this or like this. Yeah, from from childhood. Yeah, we were never supported to be ourselves. Yeah, no one knew about our design at all. You know, I mean, it's so we search for the role models, and it's nice to have role models and inspiring people to look up to, but not to be lost in this, in their qualities, in their trip. It's their trip, it's not our design. And of course, it's more attractive because we don't have, probably we are attracted by people who are different than us, who are different role models. And here we see the neutrino, the printing of the neutrinos of the swan. Yeah, we are all swans. We forgot it, but there are people with you know, abundance of talents, abundance, and I have the design of the witness, and I was fortunate to meet and know in my life amazing people, really extremely talented, some of them very famous. But what was interesting is to see that they all of them had the other side too, the dark side of the moon. And that was something that was hard to me to swallow, to see that everyone has some negative. Everyone, including the biggest masters and really amazing people, yeah, having this shit too. I remember we used to do when I lived in Sedona, Arizona, I used to do the gathering human design group in my house, in my home, once a month. And Randy Richmond, the head of the licensing board of the IHDS, is a genius to freak, and he once said in one of our meetings, he said, "People are full of shit," and I thought, I thought it was very cynical. I thought it was rather cynical. I was not so. I didn't like it really. I mean, people with the third line in their profile, for them is quite natural that with their pessimistic view, you know, it's quite natural that no one is perfect. Yeah, of course. But for me, and I feel that there is a deep dream in humanity. We are the longing for the perfect form without any flaws. The godly, yeah, the godly form, you know, the enlightened one. And usually we project this longing on people that do it, that make it for us, you know, that they have something that we don't have, that they are better. And actually people with, I found also that people with amazing, you know, sticking out, we all have different designs, and some people have a design full of it, with more weight in their design naturally. And I found that people with amazing design that were really living it were also tend to take the full advantage of it, the full advantage of people really looking at them as more. Because really we are all so limited, and most of us are to some extent are not insecure. No, it's really difficult to be secure in this life. There's no such a thing as security really in this life. So yeah, so people, even the good people, they if people worship them, good for you, you know. So even Ra Ruhu, he used to share that. Yeah, he used to use generators around him to do things for him. He didn't care that they didn't respond. You know, he said they are not waking up to their response, to honor the response, if it's right for them or not. So why they should be slave for someone else? Anyway, they will be slaves for someone else. So why not have them as my slaves in the time being? And if they wake up, good for them. So it's the attitude of the yang, yeah? Ego, manifesto. I was born in this quarter of yin, projector, emotional projector. Obviously, I don't like that people are not waking up around me. They are of no use for me. They make me angry. But that's, you see, the different karma of the projector that has to work with those people. So it has to be a clean energy rather than the manifestor, the impact, the energy field. Very interesting. But the point is that it's always somewhere outside there. It's better than our limited form. We realize very deeply that we are limited. We are always looking. And there is one I found today. I'm a bit compassionate to the old 10 commandments from the old Bible, which the whole environment in Israel where I live now is saturated with. And today usually I'm not so friendly with all this, but today in our context, you know, this commandment of thou shall not make into thee any graven image, you know, the worship of image is forbidden. And I can see the logic. It does make sense, you know, not because it's not to give too much emphasis on other design, on other qualities out there, because really is inside. Of course, they do this because their God, the abstract God, is better, and we know the abstract God without a form can be even worse because anyone can make out of it whatever he suit him. Yeah, so it can be a horrible, angry God. And but the point of comparing with a better, nicer, shining design that is out there. And really just now, we have the potential really to surrender to our design. In the old way, this worshiping, this surrender to something that was always outside was the way. And it really was difficult. I mean, how many people woke up through sitting in worshiping someone, some big master, some god, all these amazing austerities and devotions? How many people really wake up? Very little. Whoever it suits his design, obviously. now we know. But it was the back door for awakening. But surrendering to your design, wow, that's the main door. That's the main entrance. I mean, that's calling the boy with his name, you know, that's the exact name. So otherwise, it's such an abstract concept, surrender. Surrender to who? Surrender to who really? To the self, to the Atma, to the soul of the universe, to the one, or follow your heart. See, go with your heart inside of you. Well, I found that many times the follow the heart turned into following your dick. Following your dick. Oh, I feel it so much inside. I go with it. but I mean, we didn't have it. We didn't have it, and now we have it. And more. It's not just the design. Yeah, is not the most important thing, because we can point to the essence of our process, strategy, and authority. The essence, all those qualities, and they're fascinating. We know. I mean, I recommend studying. I do study them, but it's not the point. The point is, what is our relationship with our design? Can we surrender to it and live it? Is more important it's more important than what design we got. It's more important that I have some mental projectors or reflectors come to me, and they said our design is not so there's nothing much in it. Wow, how do you know? Because you don't have the same mass of energy, the same mass of reliable fixed qualities. Okay, but that's not the point. Even if you got them all, that's not the point. The point is, how can you live it? How can you surrender to the essence of it? And that's the beauty of human design, that it can point to the essence of each process. Yeah. If we don't have it, it's very, very natural to get attracted to something out there, because if you don't have this, you cannot point there exactly. So naturally, the designs with the more weight will stick out, and we will get carried away by them, and we will think that they got it, and they are better than others. Actually, we are really, when we say new consciousness, we really fire all the gurus and masters, really. Because we lived, just as we lived in the frequency of the manifestor, it was dominant, the manifestor energy. No more, it's changing. We are moving from the yang to the yin, naturally. We need more feminine energy in the world. Just as the same is we lived in a frequency or the dominance of the fifth line frequency. The fifth line was simply the most exalted in our way of life. The fifth line is the universalization, to universalize everything, to universalize, to call out the transpersonal potential, to call out people. Is the line of the trajectory of the conditioner and conditioned. This game between the conditioner and the conditioned through the message. The message is the thing. The message is the thing. And we are either conditioned by the message, and either we are conditioned with the message. And we are changing to the frequency, to the dominance of the sixth line, which is a totally different game. It's the game of the role model. I'm just example of my own self. I'm just living it. I don't care to be conditioned in order to fix myself. I don't care to condition someone else. No one put so much importance at it anyway. So you see, it's really changing. and that's why we can fire all these people. Even the good, some of them are really good, but and it's not that we will not have inspiring figures in our life that will fulfill an important role in our life. People who will lead people. We will have all of this, but it will be on a different level altogether. They won't be. They are not going to be more than us. Not going to be more than us. Really not. And that's the difference. We can admire them, but we will not get lost in them. And really, we are being called to fly, to what do you say, to open our wings and take the flight. And I invite you to look at your life and see if there is someone in your life that is there for a long time that you think that is more than you, that is better than you, even if he's really very inspiring someone. And if for a long time this is going on, that you feel that his design is more than yours, it means his design that does not inspire you. You are not being empowered. Sorry, not inspired. You are maybe you are being inspired, but not empowered by him. Empowered to be yourself. Actually, it shrinks you down, because you need to fall in love with yourself, because that will be the most significant relationship you will ever have in your life. So I invite you to discover that our design is just as amazing as any shining design out there. Bye.